All right, you might remember this past summer in the wake of the protest against racial injustice, some schools here in Central Ohio made promises to do better when addressing equality.
10 TV's Krista Frost checked in with several school districts to see how they're following through and if parents feel it's enough.
There is a greater sense of urgency to name things and to take personal responsibility and action.
It's what Columbus City Schools parent Martha Ruggles and 6 others feel compelled to do. They're part of Racial Equity Parent Advocates, or REPA. It's a group at Kenwood French Immersion School started by Betha Obayuwana in 2019. Just within the last year, these two have seen a lot of change.
My daughter is in a class where they selected to take on a project to discuss and educate their peers about racism, and not just racism in general, but specifically systemic racism.
A step toward change chosen by her daughter. But on a district level, changes are being made by Dr. Dion Blue, the first Chief Equity Officer. She says right now the district is assessing the big picture.
The academic department had an audit done. The HR department had an audit done. And what those things do is show what are the gaps. And usually those gaps they do relate to equity.
So they can bring change to issues like these.
If you look at AP classes and they're largely white and or female, then what are we missing? What do we have to do to make sure that other sorts of students are prepared for that type of experience?
CCS isn't the only district making changes. Dublin City Schools is searching for a director of diversity and inclusion. Pickerington City Schools is launching a citizens advisory committee, which will review policies, programs, and curriculum to better suit all students. And in Westerville,
this year, built into our work, a professional development series, a 5-part series that all of our staff is participating in, that's intended to help us all be thoughtful and understand our own implicit biases, what is institutional racism.
Years ago, the district also created the Westerville Student Education Foundation. It's led by students and has access to funds to bring programming about equity to their peers. It's a grassroots effort like that of REPA at CCS.
Last school year, when we were in school, we focused on monthly community dialogues.
Something they've continued via Zoom, and it helps to guide the conversation. While these parents think auditing departments is a start,
I also believe that we can have a multi-pronged approach to identifying and collecting data.
they say working with others could be the answer to creating real change.
We all deserve it, but especially our students in Columbus City School District really deserve it.
In Columbus, Krista Frost, 10 TV News.
Now, CCS will soon send out information to families about focus groups they're creating. Those groups will share inequalities they've experienced and will present ideas to district leaders on exactly how to fix them.